Are you working with your kids on learning to recognize their name in print, or what about writing their name? Let's talk about some ways that you can do that in ways that are fun, engaging, exciting, that won't even feel like learning. I'm Brandy, and I'm the mom behind Aunt Bindy's Bookshelf. I'm a mom of two, and I have years of experience in the classroom and as a part-time homeschool mom. I am here to help you as you help your kids learn and grow. Today we're going to do that by helping them learn their name, recognize it in print, and write it. In an earlier video, I talked about the order that you can teach kids their letters that makes the transition from learning letters and letter sounds to reading super seamless. I will go ahead and link it here so you can watch it if you want to. But in that video, we talk about the fact that the first letters you should teach kids are the letters in their name. Kids love those letters. They really are motivated to learn those letters. But what about after they know the letters? How do we put it all together so that they recognize their name and not just the individual letters? I'm going to show you 5 different games and activities that you can do that help kids put the puzzle together and be able to recognize and write their name.
The first activity I like to do helps solidify the idea that the letters we're seeing make up your name. Those letters mean you. It's kind of an I am Gandalf and Gandalf is me kind of situation. If you get that reference, you are my people. Start with a printed picture of your child, a paint stick, and magnetic tape. I like to paint the paint stick just to add a little color, but totally optional. Cut out your child's head from the picture and glue it to the top of the stick. Now run a line of magnetic tape down the center of the stick. Using paint pens or a marker, write their name on the magnet or on the stick. Now you can give kids magnetic letters and have them match the magnets to the letters on the paint stick. You can also create magnets by printing the sheet, I'll link it in the description, laminating, cutting the letters, and sticking more magnetic tape on the back. You basically just made letter magnets. Once the letters are on there, sound them out and read the name. Do it together the first few times and then have kids practice reading it to you. Remember, leave this out or bring it out many times to practice. Repetition is boring to us, but how many times have your kids watched the same episode of Bluey? Most kids love and need repetition. We're going to start picking out the letters and putting them in order. We're going to take another picture of our kids and type or write their name along the bottom of the picture, leaving a gap between each letter. Print that out and then laminate. This is optional, but laminators are like $20 and they make things last so much longer. Kids are tough on stuff, man. Now, cut in the spaces between the letters, cutting the picture into pieces. You've made a personalized puzzle with their name and face. I made the name puzzles into magnets by literally just gluing adhesive magnet tape onto the back with hot glue. That's it. I like to make these a magnet because they're much easier to travel, they are less likely to get lost, and they stick right to that magnet board. But obviously that part is totally optional. If kids aren't ready to do this totally independently yet, you can just use a dry erase marker to write their name at the bottom of the magnet sheet. That way kids are working on matching the letters that they have on their puzzle to the letters that you've written, and they'll move on to doing it totally independently when they're ready. Again, bring this bad boy out a few times or drop it in a sensory bin for kids to dig for the pieces before they put them together. Let's get those bodies moving. Did you know that moving your body is actually a form of sensory play? I have a video on that here you can watch, but moving the body triggers different parts of the brain than just reading something or just moving their hands. And we're all about introducing information to as many parts of the brain as possible. We're going to use sidewalk chalk to draw our child's name in big letters. We want them to be able to walk along these letters, so we're talking big. Have them help you. They can remind you what comes next and what that letter looks like. They can even write it themselves if they want to. Once the letters are written, we're going for a walk. Start at the top of each letter, have kids walk along the chalk. They can say the letter name as they're walking to get in another sensory trigger with that audio. Once they finish one letter, move on to the next one. You can make it a race if you have other kids who are learning their letters too, or you can write your name and race them. If kids are enjoying this activity and you want to extend it, you can have them lay something like rocks, Legos, leaves, whatever on the chalk outline. Double practice.
If you're enjoying these ideas, can you go ahead and throw me a like and think about subscribing? I put out a fun, play-based learning video every single week.
We got some wiggles out. Now let's do some fine motor practice. You'll need a sheet of small stickers and paper for this one. That's it. Write kids' names on a sheet of paper. Now they're going to use stickers to cover the letters. So simple, but kids love the stickers. My kids could put stickers down for hours. If you don't have stickers, you can also absolutely use a bingo dauber or a Q-tip dipped in some paint. That would work just as well. We're going to help kids practice writing their name. We're going to work in salt first because it's less pressure, it's fun, and depending on how old your kiddo is, they might not be ready for that pencil grip yet. This is super simple. Just write or type your kids' names and print them out. Now, pour some salt in a tray. I'm using dyed salt. If you want to see how I dye the salt for my tray, I posted it in my socials. You can find them in the description. It's so easy. If you don't want to dye salt, normal white salt is 100% fine. Now, prop the printed name against the top of the tray for kids to model their letters after. Starting at the top of each letter, have kids use their finger to write their names. The salt makes it easy to write and fun to see the result. You can do this with all kinds of words, and it does not need to be fancy.
Hopefully you got a couple ideas in there that you're excited to practice with your kids. Remember, rinse and repeat as often as needed. Practice is where it's at. If you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe. I put out videos every single week with ideas like this, and we're working our way through the alphabet from A to Z, but not in that order. Have a great day.